What is happening? What is going on? Yeah, Save Arabi. That title was specifically for you, my man. Absolutely. Twerking in the boys' room is what is going down. What's up, Doodlebug? How's everybody doing? Um, it is I'm trying to figure out what's up, Cassie. I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna get to watch this fight. And it's gonna go down very, very soon. And I'm waiting for a text from my friend because he's gonna give me like access to it. But in the meantime, I figured I'd kick it with you guys, see how everybody's doing. What's up, Sherilyn Tracy? Welcome. I'm glad to have you. I'm very, very glad to have you. Damn right, twerking in the boys' room, Cassie. You need to know what's up. You need to understand what is happening. Mandy, Texas gal. Danette. Yeah, man. So what's up, Antonio? Yeah, I was just in, I was just in Misery's chat. I'm kind of bummed because I missed a lot of it because I was finishing up at work, and then I had to get home and I had to like walk a bunch of dogs, which I love doing, but I couldn't really pay attention to what was going on because of that. But Rosaling, Jessica, how we doing? Yeah, man. Um, yeah, it's pretty wild. I got a lot of new subs, man, from my little which I did not expect, and it's most definitely not why I did it. But I am grateful. I am extremely grateful. But I did get a lot of new subs. Lufa. I did get a lot of new subs from my my conversation with Mommy Ramblings blog last night, who I have a new affinity for. She's a new friend. I'm proud to call her a new friend, and and it was cool because yeah, it looks like Forrest Chomp. It looks like you know, a lot of creators are getting on board with this no more swatting bullshit. And it is not bullshit. The swatting is what the bullshit is. And the swatting needs to stop. And it's going to stop because people with resources are getting together. And what I talked about the other night, it's happening. It's happening. And I told you, motherfuckers. I said it. I called it the second that I found out what happened to Mommy Ramblings and Jimmy. The second I found out what happened to Carolyn and Jimmy, I told you, y'all pissed a lot of people off. And now everybody's mad. And you got the wrong people mad. And the shit's about to go down. So what you need to do, pack your shit up and get lost before you get found. Because you're gonna get found. It's gonna happen. It's not gonna go away. It's not gonna go away. So be ready. These are not empty threats. These are genuine predictions. That is what's happening right now. Because there are people who have a lot of subscribers. And the cool thing about having subscribers, they're as long as you're cool to your subscribers and your subscribers appreciate you when you're a creator, they appreciate what you're doing and they believe in what you're doing. And there happens to be a lot of them, whether it be 10, right? Or whether it be 10,000. The fact of the matter is, these are all different types of people in all different types of professions. And I mean, the fact that you pissed off a guy like Duty Dan, who I'd never heard of until last night, but I got fired up just listening to this guy talk last night. Uh, I got completely and totally fired up. Christina is my name. If the person responsible is actually going to face consequences, that's awesome. But how? What if they're not in the US? Well, then we get international authorities involved, whoever the fuck, FBI has jurisdiction, global jurisdiction in certain cases, I believe. Anything that's a cyber crime, and I don't know about this stuff exactly, but anything, I'm of the impression that anything that is a cyber crime, uh there's something called cooperation between law enforcement agencies. So what happens is a law enforcement agency on this part of the globe, and I say globe to you flat earthers out there, uh, on this side of the globe, we have law enforcement agencies, and if people on some other side of the globe have law enforcement agencies, which I'm sure they do, then these law enforcement agencies uh, cooperate and work with those other law enforcement agencies. And there's something called extradition. So these people end up paying consequences. You don't get to just get away with a crime just because you happen to be in another part of the world. It doesn't work that way. And the idea here is to make sure that the idea here is to make sure that nobody gets hurt, and people have gotten hurt. Um, and 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 if cyberbullying is a crime, if cyber fucking bullying is a crime, then I'm pretty sure this bullshit is a crime. And and all it takes all it takes is somebody with a friend. It's all it takes. And I happen to have one of those friends, or maybe two of those friends, or maybe three of those friends. So, and I'm not the only creator here. And I'm not the only creator that's fed up of even hearing about it. And uh and I don't like the idea of what I get to do here, because I love what I get to do here. I absolutely love being able to get up here and talk with you guys. I have an affinity for it. I enjoy it a lot. And I enjoy the fact that people appreciate it. And the fact that people appreciate it tells me that not only do I enjoy doing this, other people enjoy the fact that I do this. And I don't like that threatened in any way whatsoever. And I'm sure that the people who enjoy watching us creators who enjoy doing this and enjoy watching creators be creative, um, I'm sure that they're kind of sick and tired of this too. And I'm sure that they have friends and that they know people. And what you did was you pissed off the wrong community, because this there's a little part of this community, actually a big part of this community, that's known as the true crime community. And whether or not it's infected with drama or whatever, none of that shit fucking matters. None of that shit matters, because these people who engage in drama, they like to engage in drama, and they like having a platform to where they can engage in drama. And so we all have this one thing in common, that we really, really like. We really, really like this platform. And we like to be able to talk about whatever the fuck we want to talk about on here. And our subscribers really like to be able to tap in here and listen to us talk about whatever the fuck we want to talk about. And so what's going to end up happening, is we're all going to pull together, which has already begun. It has already begun. So I suggest you unplug that little computer of yours, or that little device of yours, or whatever you're using to to uh, to get information on people, and I suggest that I suggest you find something a little bit better than an app that disguises your phone number, because those things can be traced, and all it takes is somebody with a computer that's smarter than you. And there are people in a cyber crimes unit, in a federal cyber crimes unit, that has these tools, and that and there are people in the cyber crimes units that are smarter than you, and they're going to utilize their smarts. They're going to do their job. If you're watching a football game and somebody is trained to catch a football, the reason why that person catches that football is because they're trained to do it. It's their job to catch the football. And guess what, my friend? In this football game, you are the football, and you're about to get run into the end zone. That's just how that is. And I promise you, you're going to get caught. We're on your trail, and we don't like you. We don't like you one bit. So, how's everybody doing tonight? Man, I really want to watch that Conor McGregor fight, man. But at the same time, I kind of don't care. I ain't gonna lie, I don't even care that much about it. If I miss it, I miss it. I'm not gonna cry about it. Worst case scenario, I'll catch a replay of it. I'm not that big of a sports fan. I'm the kind of guy, I like sports, and I watch sports, but I don't follow sports very, very, very much. Let's see, Aaron Hernandez. I have not seen that yet. I've been curious about that. Actually, what's funny is, and my friend just gave me the looks like I'll be watching that fight tonight. But let's see what we got here. Boom. So yeah, I had a really, really good time. I had a really, really good time last night with you guys, and yeah, save Robbie anytime you want, dude. But you probably beat me. I'm all show, man. I think I'm a big fan of understanding. I'm a big fan of mind over matter, and I've seen some of the biggest dudes. I've seen some of the biggest dudes be the biggest pussies I've ever seen in my life. It makes me laugh. I used to work in a tattoo shop. I'll get back to talking about sports. Actually, all I was talking about sports was that I like sports, but I don't follow the players. I don't really give a shit who at the end of the day wins. I like to root for a team, and then I watch the game. I really enjoy it, and I'll get all into it. And when it's over, it's all over. But going back to what Robbie was talking about here, or what I was going to say to Robbie was, yeah, some of the biggest guys that I've ever seen are like the biggest pussies I've ever seen in my life. I remember this. I remember this from working, and this is another point. I remember working in a tattoo shop. When I worked at that tattoo shop, I really, hey, what's up, Mignon? When I worked at that tattoo shop, give me 1 second. I'm sorry. I gotta do this real quick. I got to send a message to my So sorry about that, guys. I remember, yeah, see, that's because you're not a big fucking pussy, Robbie. I remember working in the tattoo shop, and I would see these dudes that would come in, and they all, these guys, these gym rats, they all come in and they want the same shit. It's the funniest thing in the world. They all want tribal, right? Well, this was 10 years ago. But they all wanted tribal, right? And and they all wanted like a tribal scorpion right here, you know what I mean? And and it was the same story every time. My buddies would be working on them, and doing an outline, and then finish the outline and say, all right, we're gonna go take a smoke break real quick, and we'll come back, we'll put in the shading, or pack in the black, which is what you do with tribals. And so my buddies they would smoke their cigarette, and they'd be like, all right, let's get back to it, set up, change their gloves, do whatever they got to do. And and these guys always end up like looking in the mirror, and they'd be like, you know what, bro, I think it looks good just like that, bro. I think it looks good just like that. No, dude. No, 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 no. Sit the fuck down. We're finishing that shit. Because these motherfuckers, every single time, what these guys would do is they would they would do that, but they're also the kind of guys that would go around and give some excuse to their friends. Their friends would be like, why do you have the half-ass tattoo done? Oh, well, the guy, he was too drunk or too high or something like that, and he just didn't want to finish it up, and blah blah blah, and I've been trying to make appointments and he just won't answer my calls, and blah blah blah. Bullshit. You were too much of a pussy to finish the fucking thing, and you're not going to go around town and tell everybody that it was my fault that you didn't finish it. So you're not going to walk around with a half-ass tattoo saying that it's my fault because you couldn't handle the pain. But this is the funny thing, though. This is a funny observation that I made. Women are the toughest people that you'll ever meet in your life. And that is absolutely 100% true. These women, they would just sit there and talk and just almost enjoy themselves. It was pretty fantastic to watch this. Very, very, very cool people that would just sit there and talk. And no, Cheryl and Tracy, I never did tattoos. I was a body piercer. That's what I did in the tattoo industry, which is like, it's not even respected at all. It's actually rare for a man to be a body piercer. It's usually a very female oriented. It's a very what's the term I'm looking for? It's a female dominated field, but oh man, yeah. Let me tell you, Christina, I had working in that shop. I worked at the time when the tramp stamp was the thing. I mean, these guys paid their bills off tramp stamps. It was incredible. It was every single woman came in there getting a tramp stamp. It was crazy. I paid my bills off of piercing belly buttons and tongues just all day. And this was in Miami. So I paid my bills off of just belly buttons and tongues just all day long, and the occasional genital piercing and nipple piercing and, whatever the fuck people wanted. Yeah. I loved it, man. I had the best time doing it, though. I had the best time doing it. And it was during a time where, I mean, even though I was already it was during a time when I was in between my late 20s and mid 30s. And I had a blast doing it. And I absolutely yeah, it was a time where I I mean, I was in a band, and it was Miami, and there was a scene, and yeah, it was a very self-destructive time for me, but it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Um, so yeah, it was. I I I I I did a lot. I engaged in a lot of debauchery, needless to say, but I had a really good time, and I learned a lot, and I really enjoyed uh just kind of I really enjoyed just interacting with and meeting new people, because when you work a job on South Beach, um, it's it's a vacation spot, you know, and it's so people come from around the world, and I always used to like think of it that way. I used to think of it like I was, you know, I was getting you know, the poor man's equivalent to traveling uh all around the world, you know, but you know, I had to stay in the same spot. But it was really cool because if you're in a position like that, it made sense to make the best of it. And I would just engage in conversation with people from all over the world. And it was really cool. Um, I don't, UC boss, I don't know. I might, uh, I don't know. I don't even see. You know, I've got the super chat, and you know, and I'm monetized. I don't do this for money, you know, but it's nice if people want to, you know, but if people feel an overwhelming need to give me money, I'm not going to be like mad at anybody for it. So if there's an overwhelming demand for, you know, by some fluke for me to create a Patreon thing, then yeah, I'll do it. But but I'd prefer to make money by like giving you guys something, you know what I mean? Like I'd prefer to, you know, maybe sell merch or something like that. And I don't think I'm even close to being there yet, where people would actually want merch for what I'm doing. Uh, but um, but yeah, it's not something that I'm thinking about at the moment. But going back to what I was saying, yeah, you know, when you work at South Beach, it was really cool because I would have like Japanese people come into the shop, and they were really cool. Because and that was another thing. Most people are really cool, you know. You get, if you take the time to get to know them, and you understand where they're coming from, and you get to take a time to actually just engage in a uh very simple conversation with them, uh you're you're gonna have fun, you know. You're gonna learn something, and you're gonna enjoy yourself in that conversation. And I no, I am not Granny Fanny. I don't even know who the fuck Granny Fanny is, by the way. But whatever. Uh, anyway, I I absolutely, yeah. Um, I absolutely love meeting people and talking to people, which is really 80% of the reason why I do this. And yeah, there, you know, it was really funny to talk to like these Japanese people. Thank you for reminding me. I don't know what the fuck this says, but I'm gonna put it up there anyway. Uh, and I used to love when the Japanese people would come in, because I would pick their brain, and because we had Japanese kanji flash on the wall, because everybody loved to get like Japanese kanji. They didn't, you know, they don't even know what the fuck it means, and people would love to get little Japanese symbols on them, and it was really fun to to ask them like, hey, does that mean what it says it means? Because you see one and it says something like hope as a translation right there, and then like these Japanese people would be like, oh no, that means you know, that means you know, breast. And I would be like, "Are you serious?" They'd be like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." You know, like they had no reason to lie to me about it. But it was really fun. It was really fun to everybody. That's the thing, man. Is everybody's got a story. Everybody's got a story. And even and the truth is everybody's got thousands of stories, depending on how long they've lived, depending on how much they've lived, depending on how many places they've been, depending on how many people are in their family, depending on how many people they know. Everybody's got these experiences, and just a question of, are they the type of people to want to share those experiences, or are they introverts and they just like to keep that stuff to themselves? But if you open that line of communication with someone, and they feel comfortable with you, chances are they're going to share something with you that you can learn from. So you're kind of missing out by being kind of a dick to people, you know what I mean? And I used to be kind of a dick to people. uh, when I was angry, when I was generally angry, I was kind of a dick to people. And I don't like being, I'm very capable of being a dick. And I take pride in being a dick when it's necessary. If you come in here and you act like an asshole, then I'm gonna check you, and you're not gonna be allowed in here no more. And I'm gonna and I get the excuse to be a dick. If I feel like being a dick, you're gonna get the ass end of that, and that's gonna be your fault. But and I take comfort in that. I take absolute comfort in that. I don't have any problem letting you know when you're being a dick. So and but but when you have that open line of communication with someone, uh you have an open mind, and you're genuinely listening to them, chances are they're going to have something really cool to say. You don't have to log onto a YouTube channel to listen to somebody's story. You could just strike up a conversation with anybody, and I think that's really fun. And I think it's really cool, without dipping into their business and shit and being like, uh, asking them personal weird questions. I'm not saying to do that. That's, people's business is their business. I'm not saying to fucking impose and and uh and you know I'm not saying to to be intrusive. I'm just saying hey, let me address this right quick. Yes, I am good at being me, but I do not hold grudges, or at least I make a very, very strong effort not to hold grudges. And I'm glad you brought this up. Christina is my name. I try not to hold grudges because holding grudges to me is an absolute waste of energy. I only have so much energy that this body either maintains or generates, because I don't even know how it works. All I know is that it runs my body. All I know is that it, it this is electricity that makes my fingers move, that makes my mouth move. I love that electricity sends signals from my brain to my vocal cords and out my mouth. I love that shit. And so I think it's an absolute waste of it to use it on carrying a bag of shit with me. That doesn't make sense. I'm not gonna carry that stuff around. It's heavy and it stinks, and I don't want it. So I try not to carry that stuff around with me. So and the upside to that is there's logic behind that, because if I choose not to hold a grudge against somebody that I have an issue with, and they choose to maintain a grudge against me, well then that's on them. I've already taken accountability for my end. I don't have to take accountability for theirs. So they're the ones that have to live with that grudge because they choose to live with that grudge. I don't have to do that. So that makes me happy. I enjoy I enjoy living a very, very easygoing lifestyle. It's a lot less to have to think about. The truth is, a lot of it just comes from straight laziness. I don't feel like I don't feel like thinking that much, and I don't feel like worrying about things that much. So if I try to make I try to manage a situation to where uh when you and I have some sort of negative interaction, I'm gonna do what I can on my end to make it right. And then and actually be very, very aware of 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 it being right once it gets there, because I'm not gonna compromise my self-respect in the process either. So if I've already gone out of my way to to create a peaceful interaction between the two of us, and you still hold on to that grudge, well then that's on you, and that's whether you decide that it's worth it for you to hold on to. I but I'm okay either way, you know. So I'm not, you know, if you're the type of person to hold a grudge against me after I've already made that effort, then uh I I I I don't need to have someone like you in my life. I don't. It's fairly easy. So it's an easy fix for me. For me, it's an easy fix. So I don't worry about that stuff. So that's why I don't hold grudges, because holding grudges is illogical and it's irrational, and it's a waste of my time and energy, and it doesn't do either one of us any good. So that's why I don't hold grudges. But you know, that's not to say that once something happens and you've done me wrong, that I don't see you for what you are and what you're capable of. That's not to say that that's not going to change our dynamic to a certain degree, because now I'm going to be like, okay, you know, that's just how I get down, man. Yeah, I I'm yeah, I'm actually I'm actually up. Oh wait. I'm actually up. Wow, Christina, thank you so much. That's really, really nice of you. I appreciate that. Thank you so, so much. Yeah, I already forgot about it, Christina. We're good, man. We're good. I'm glad you're here. It's all good. Um, and thank you just for you 247. That's really, really sweet of you to say. Welcome. Everyone is welcome here as long as you are respectful to the chat. Yeah, and yo, and I know a lot of you came from Misery's live. I I haven't laughed so hard uh watching a live in a while. One other creator that makes me laugh a lot is my friend John Hinged, which I think him and I are actually we're I don't know when we're going to get around to it, but we are going to be doing a live together at some point. He was live earlier and suggesting it because I was in his chat before I went to work tonight, and he is he's a good friend. I enjoy his chats as well, his lives, and he makes one really, really surefire way to get my attention and make me laugh is when you're capable of um making pop culture references that I can relate to, that and I always think that that's very, very funny. um yes, Doodlebug, John Hinge, John Crimes, yes, yeah, and I believe you were in his chat earlier too. um and but yeah, I'm a big fan of creators that can make me laugh, and and it's yeah. And hearing, I was laughing just at misery laughing. That that was that was really funny to because I mean, there's nothing funnier than there's nothing more fun to me. And I love that because this is a dude after my own heart, man, because there's nothing funnier to me uh than making fun of somebody who deserves to be made fun of. And there's nobody that deserves to be made fun of more than some douchey, weird fucking sex predator. Like so he had this dude on there that was on that Chris Hansen's To Catch a Predator. That show is so fucking funny to me, man. Now, here's the thing about that show. I feel like I don't know. I don't understand how it's not entrapment. Because they never actually, I mean, they never actually, well, if they sent dick pics, but they didn't send dick pics to a minor. I don't see how intent to send dick pics to a minor is necessarily jailable. I don't know if that's, so don't fucking lynch me. I just, I'm not condoning that behavior, but it's one thing to think about doing something and it's another thing to do it. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm kind of on the fence about it. I don't know, but but I'm not gonna lie. I laugh my ass off when I see these motherfuckers get caught because it's always the same thing. These dudes, they walk into this place, they walk into a house that's being used for this show, and these dudes, they always have like this weird variety of items, and it always contains condoms and beer. Like always, it's always condoms and beer, but with like it's like condoms, beer, and gummy worms and pizza. Like it's so fucking weird, man. And then my favorite shit in the world, my favorite shit in the world. Oh man, hey, real quick before I continue that joke that has always bugged the shit out of me, Breakfast Club Misery. That's always bugged the shit out of me because I don't know what the fucking punchline is. I've never heard that joke anywhere else except for in that movie. And still to this day, the first time I saw that movie, and I saw it late, that movie came out when I was like 8, 9 years old, but I I didn't watch it until I was like 12, right? And well, 11. 11? Yeah, I was 11 or 12. Uh, and it doesn't have a punchline. It does not have a punchline. And that's always bugged the shit out of me. And I'm 44 years old, and I've never heard that joke with a punchline ever. And I hear a lot of shitty, stupid jokes. And what's funny is oh, okay. So he ad-libbed it for because man, what a great he's not even a very good actor, Judd Nelson, because you never see him in anything else really, and every other performance that he's been in is not good. Uh uh and no, I am not a blonde, Cassie, but we're talking about the Breakfast Club being there. Um and I was not blonde before I went gray either. I went gray early. I went gray at like I started going gray. I think my first grays started coming in my 20s, my early 20s. And then I was like full on salt and pepper by like 30. And then now I'm just fucking gray. I've been gray for years. But all right, Mignon. Thank you. Um but I yeah, that's really funny because Judd Nelson is not that good of an actor, but he made himself laugh as he's telling this joke when he's crawling through the on the ceiling tiles. He's crawling on top of the ceiling tiles. And it comes off like he already knows the punchline, and he can't wait for he's already thinking of the punchline, and it makes him laugh. And I thought that was really, really good acting on his end. But um I going back to what I was talking about before, yeah, To Catch a Predator. So these dudes always fucking walk into this place. They walk into this house, and the decoy will be like at the top of the stairs, right? The decoy will be at the top of the stairs, and she'll be like, "Oh, I'm just finishing up getting dressed and getting freshened up. Just have a seat and have some refreshments." Like, first of all, what 13-year-old has their shit together like that when they invite somebody over and they've got like a spread? And I'm always laughing because I'm like, I'm like, how are you not already tipped off? How does this not already seem weird to you? And then they sit down and they're just chilling, like waiting to, hey, I'm about to fuck a 13-year-old girl, all right, and they're just like, and oh, look, cookies. And they grab a cookie and oh, take your time. And then and then my man Chris Hansen walks in with a fucking clipboard or like a binder or something, and he's like, yeah, so what are you doing here? And the dude is always like almost always to try to play off, like, and trying to be cool, like always keep eating cookies. Try listen, anybody listening, there's no way to look cool while you're still eating cookies in a situation like that, bro. Like you can't keep eating cookies, bro. Like you gotta stop eating the cookies. Put the cookie down, right? Because they'll even put that, like, oh, am I allowed to eat these? Like, Chris Hansen will walk in and, and they'll see him and be like, oh, and then they'll go to put the cookie back, and he'll be like, no, man, you can have as many cookies as you want. So he's always eating fucking cookies. Oh my god. There's no way to look cool when you're eating cookies and you're about to and you're there caught trying to fuck a 13-year-old girl, man. There's no you can't do it, dude. You can't do it. Oh my god. So I and it's one of those things where every episode is borderline exactly the same. Each one of these guys is almost the same dude. They're always these fucking shit kicking trailer park fucking rednecks. They always drive a truck, and that's not to say I live in the South and a lot of my friends are Southern. That's not to say that they're fucking sexual predators, but for some reason, I guess it's because it's like northern Florida. That's probably why. Like this show usually takes place in like northern Florida, and yeah, those guys, those guys are known as Florida crackers. That's the term, and and they always always got the number the hat with the number 3, the Dale Earnhardt, and like and now these guys constantly are fucking are labeled now these type of dudes, like not that rednecks are labeled child predators, sexual predators, but the sexual predators that are now the sexual predators, you just think of some fucking dickhead with a fucking pickup truck and oh my god, man, it's so Oh, that doesn't count, Lufa. Southern California. That's a whole different. Yeah, that doesn't. Oh, are you saying South Carolina? Are you in South Carolina? Is that what that means? And no, like, listen. All right, being there, you'll notice, like, you will notice that I have an accent that comes and goes. And when I get kind of fired up, uh, when I get kind of fired up, when I get kind of pissed off about something, you'll hear that accent a lot more. You'll hear my South Florida, uh, you know, you'll hear that accent come out a lot. Because I grew up in a town called Hialeah, and we all kind of have this sort of way that we talk, and and when I get mad, I'll even speak, like, if I get mad enough, I'll speak in Spanglish, and that's that's when you know I'm pissed off. It's when I start making Spanish references and start talking. Excuse me, and start talking in Spanish. And my Spanish sucks, but sometimes, like, I get so mad, and the the Spanish accent, like the Spanish words will take over because there's certain Spanish slang that you just can't say in English because it doesn't express it the right way. Um, so Shimmer Soul, let's see. Yeah, you're Southern as fuck. Born and raised in the Appalachian Mountains, Kentucky, North Carolina, and now Tennessee. Definitely hillbilly and proud. Most hillbillies are proud, and there's nothing wrong with being proud of being a hillbilly. That's for sure. I actually spent some time as a child in West Virginia, and I happen to know hillbilly very well. I happen to know hillbilly very well. Nah, Jessica, man, you're in Georgia. That's all good. I actually I've been a lot of places, man. I've lived in a lot of places. And I moved here to Tennessee from Georgia, as a matter of fact. Yeah, and you're in Texas. Hold on. Spanglish. Yeah. I'm not from West Virginia. Breakfast Club Misery. I'm not from West Virginia, but I spent some time as a child in West Virginia, a couple years actually. Um, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, so you know what's up with Hialeah. You know what's up with Hialeah, and us Hialeans, man. We are not the ones to fuck with. If you know Hialeah, yeah, we are some tenacious, angry people who can't drive for shit. I was actually born in Missouri, Brenda Ho, believe it or not. Uh, yeah, I was actually born in Missouri. No, I'm currently in Tennessee right now. I've never lived here prior to this. Yeah. See, that just happened. Look, I didn't mean to insult you. I just said Brenda Ho. That's the Spanish in me because the J is a soft J. It's like a H. In Spanish, you pronounce that Brenda Ho. Brenda Ho. Yeah, that totally just fucking happened. I was not trying to call you a hoe. I honestly thought it was just a clever fucking username. That's it. Oh man, I'm gonna lose subs because of that bullshit. Oh man, so funny. Um, and I have also lived in the Dominican Republic. That is not some place where you want to live. I promise you that. Not if you're spoiled by the luxuries of the United States, and by luxuries of the United States, I mean things like hot water and electricity. Look, and you said you were Southern too, and you said you were Southern, and I still put that Spanish twist on the J and called you Brenda Ho instead of Brenda Joe. I'm a jackass. I'm so sorry about that. It's kind of funny though. But yeah. No, it has nothing to do with being blind. I'm telling you, like I took that J, and if you speak Spanish, you understand what I'm doing. Hold on. See, hold on. Holly Love, the glare, stopping by real fat to show you some love. I know that was a typo. Have a great life. Hello, chat. Everyone having an amazing night. You too, Holly Love. It's good to see you. Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate it. But yeah, um what was I talking about? Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm already done with the subject of I was but yeah, watching Misery cover that dude, and it was funny because he really just like he really just talked about that just to make fun of that dude, because this dude starts working out. My man does 5 years in prison for trying to fuck a 13-year-old, and I guess that's what it was. I missed a lot of the live because I had to take care of my own shit and I couldn't be on. And timing was bad, but I I I, it was just very funny to me to see him cracking up at this dude because he decided after he gets out of prison after 5 years to start a YouTube channel, and try to like do some exercises, and my man was using like 5-pound weights, 5-pound dumbbells, and he was winded. I mean, there was nothing inspiring about this dude at all. Like his physique was, I mean, okay, I guess, but he's he's doing curls like way out here and stuff. He's like, that's how grandmas do curls. You're not supposed to do them that way. That's not how you're supposed to do them. And he's winded doing them with like 5-pound dumbbells. So there's nothing about this dude that makes you go, man, if I do what he's doing, I'm gonna reach my goals. And just seeing laugh at this dude was making me laugh and was making everybody in the chat laugh. And I was having a good time. I was having a good time. Oh, it was killing me. Oh, look at her with her little Spanglish too. Her little Spanglish. Holly Love, I'll take it. I'll take it. Yeah. Um, I didn't see the dog turds, man. I didn't see the dog turds. I don't know what people are referring to when it comes to the dog turds at all. And he got up with poo smear on his. All right, I'm getting the gist of what happened there. Yeah, I mean, what's funny is I don't even, yeah, there's gym junkies who like, I mean, I work at a gym, you know what I'm saying? And first of all, I don't know if anybody has small dicks or what. Uh, that's not something you see generally at the gym. If you do, there's a problem. There was that naked dude. Some of my older subscribers know about that story I told. That was a weird day that I had, and I saw something. I'm not going to tell that story again, but yeah, it was. Oh wow, okay. Okay. I see what's going on. The shake weight, the shake. I can't believe that dude was working out with a shake weight, dude. Like, who does that and expects to be taken seriously? Who works out with a fucking shake weight and expects to be taken seriously? That thing is a joke. Like, that thing was on TV for like a minute, and that thing was on TV for like a minute. I remember seeing the commercial for that. I was fucking hammered. Like, those were during my wild days when that commercial came out. And I remember I was sitting there with my buddy, and we were fucking hammered, drunk, and it was like 4 a.m. I think we were doing coke too, and we were watching this shit, and this commercial comes on, and I'm just seeing this lady just like, and like expecting to be taken serious. Like I was like, what is this? Is this fun? Is this supposed to be funny? Like and I laughed so hard. I laughed so hard. And then yeah, and then yeah, and then everybody started spoofing it. Everybody started making fun of it. SNL did a skit about it. South Park made fun of it. Everybody made fun. I think Family Guy even made fun of it. But I was dying, man. And then you could tell my man had done some time in prison, because I think my man was in prison when it was made out to be a joke. It became funny, and then it died out. The joke died out. It was over. And then my man gets out of prison and he's like, oh, what's this? Dude, you cannot take anybody who's giving workout tips with a shake weight seriously. I don't care how fit they are. I don't give a shit. I do not give a shit. Like, that is not, there's let me tell you something. I work out avidly, okay? It's become a lifestyle for me. Like, that's what I do. I do this and I work out if I'm not at work. That's what I do. I barely even have time to watch TV anymore. But I'm telling you right now, I've never seen anybody in person use a shake weight, and I've never heard a trainer recommend somebody get a shake weight and use it. It's not, no. Yeah, don't do that to yourself. Don't get a shake weight. What Shannon? What are you talking about over here? See, you use shake weight, but it's wine. They have a wine called shake weight. That's actually a smart marketing tool, man. I would absolutely Lufa, that's awesome that you work out every day. Yeah. Yes, and Shimmer Soul, you're amazing. Thank you very, very, very much. Shimmer Soul, that is very, very sweet. And yes, I'm up here laughing, man. I'm the one having fun. I'm just glad that you guys are enjoying it, because I'm actually over here having a ball and acting a fool, and you guys seem to enjoy it, and that's cool. Yeah, every moment, I'm telling you, every moment that I'm on here and I get to kick it with you guys, I have a blast, man. I'm just so grateful that I get to do this with you guys and just talk shit. The more and more I do this, the closer I feel to my subscribers, and the more I feel like you all are friends, and I really, really like doing it. Yeah, I know, Shannon, I know you totally lift. We all know that you totally lift. Shannon's got them guns. Yeah, yo, hey Baron, I'm telling you, what you need to do is YouTube that shit. That commercial is gonna be on YouTube, I guarantee, and I bet you it has millions of hits. I'll bet you anything. Yeah, look at that. See, Lufa, I love that, man. Hold on, not that. I don't know, yo, the chat's kind of going wild. Hold on a second. What? Here we go. Yeah. See, that's I talk about this here all the time. That is the best thing that I ever did to manage my anxiety and depression. Actually, absolutely the best thing that I ever did was to exercise. And 50 pounds, dude, yo, that is amazing. That is a hell of an accomplishment. I mean, that takes so much discipline. The dieting and the dedication to make sure that you get up and do whatever you did to exercise, whatever form of exercise you took on, that kind of dedication. That's some hard work. I promise you, anybody who's listening to this in this chat, anybody who lost 50 pounds put work into that. And it was hard work, and it took a lot of dedication to do that. So much love to you, Lufa. But, more power to you. That's fantastic. Since August of 2019. So August of 2000, let's see. So in what, 6 months? Yeah, 5 months. In 5 months, Lufa lost 50 pounds. That's fucking crazy, dude. I mean, I don't mean to one up you. I lost 20 in 5 weeks. That's a true story. I lost 20 in 5 weeks. But the reason why I lost 20 in 5 weeks is because I'm poor as fuck. So it's not hard to diet. When you're poor as fuck, it's not difficult to diet at all. And B, I work at a gym. So all I had to do was just make sure I got to work 2 hours early or 3 hours early, right? So I would go and I work out and then work my shift. That's what I would do every time. But yeah, Baron, you want to gain 5 pounds, and if you want to gain 5 pounds of muscle, exercise, eat and exercise. You want protein. You want lots of protein. Just don't overdo it with protein, because if you overdo it with protein, it'll turn into fat. But what you need is protein and glutamine. And glutamine will, all that does is just help you. You can get that at any health food store. Glutamine will help. What it does is it helps the protein it helps your muscles absorb the protein, is what it does, in order for your muscles to grow. Yeah, don't ask what came first. That's right. I basically live off chicken and eggs for the most part, guys. So wait a second. Wait. Let me back up here, because I thought I read something when I was running my mouth. So being there. So you're a quadriplegic. Jeez. So you must be a badass, because you must be a badass, because that's tough, dude. That is tough. Yo. Yeah. So, man, that's insane, dude. That's insane. Yeah. So I bet you have incredible upper body strength. And I bet you're just a badass all around, just kicking life's ass, dude. Much love to you. Yeah, I did not know that about you being there. You just, like, I already had tons of respect for you. Now that shit, you just fucking went up. You went up tons of points in my book. I'm glad you like it, Sherilyn. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. I'm actually about to get off of here though, but you know what? I might go on a little bit later. I may or may not. I'm not sure, because I might have a little bit of wine. I've been thinking about that. I'm thinking about having a little bit of wine tonight, and I don't know if I'm gonna. I don't know if I want to drink in live. That's gotten me in trouble before. If you know the history between me and Mr. Gray Hughes. But yeah, I but I am I'm definitely, I think I'm gonna get off here, and I'm gonna try to find that fight, try to watch that fight. But I really, really love hanging out with you guys. I'm glad you're here. And I'm glad all my new subscribers. I'm very, very grateful to you, and I'm really glad that you subscribe, and I'm really glad that you're enjoying the channel. Um, wow. Yeah, see, hold on. Before I do, I want to address this right here. You said you went to rehab and they taught you to transfer, and however, you taught yourself to walk. It's called muscle memory. Yes, I happen to know personally and I've talked about him on this channel before. I talked about him when I had only like 400 subs, but um I talked about this gentleman on this channel. This is a very, very important gentleman in my life, in my young adult life, and I've seen this man who is paralyzed from the waist down. I have personally seen this man leg press 50 pounds. This man, this man is a Vietnam veteran. And I'll tell you the story very, very quickly, but I'll elaborate another time. I'll actually come on here and elaborate more about this man another time. But this man, um, he is a Vietnam veteran, and he lost the use of his legs in Vietnam because he was a helicopter pilot, and the helicopter just kind of like it got shot down and stayed level, but boom, it got shot down and landed hard. So what it did was it crushed his vertebrae. It crushed like 3 or 4 of his vertebrae like that, bah. And but before he left to Vietnam, he promised his sweetheart that he was going to walk her down the aisle when he got back, no matter what. He promised her he was going to walk her down the aisle. And so he taught himself to shift his weight with canes. He used 2 canes for almost all his life until he just got too old, and he said, you know what, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and say fuck it and use a wheelchair. But this man refused to be in a wheelchair for, I mean, something like 30 years, which is amazing. Hey, Joan Brown, I didn't see you in here. I saw you in here earlier, but I was running my mouth and I wanted to say hi, so I don't want you to think that I didn't see you in here. But yeah, this dude is one of the most inspiring people that I've ever met in my life, and he's in a lot of ways was very much like a father figure to me. It is like a father figure to me because he's still alive. But he taught me a lot, and so it was incredible. To hear about this man, and he's very, a lot of where the stuff that it's funny, the stuff that I talk about here is stuff that he talked about. He just didn't word it that way, but he's very, very big on accountability and things of that nature. But he was the kind of guy that was just like, he just didn't, if you acted a fool, he just didn't respect you. And if you did behave and conduct yourself a certain way, he did respect you, and he would show you respect and love. But if he didn't respect you, he'd let you know he didn't respect you, and you were not welcome in his house. And this man, his house was a beautiful, a very, very quaint, beautiful, small 1-story house in Hialeah. And he had a music studio in there. I had the best memories, and I've done some of the most creative things in my life in that little music studio that he had in that house, and recorded music, and that's where my band practiced, and we did this for years and years and years, and all we had to do was keep it clean and keep it locked up. We didn't have to pay him to use it, and it was it was such a blessing. And it was all because he just wanted it being used, because he was a musician himself, and eventually he just stopped playing music. He just kind of got over it, at least with a band and using the studio. He wouldn't even step in the studio after a while, and I think a lot of it had to do with certain memories with that studio. He was very good friends with a certain disco superstar, which I will not, and who had hits that every single person in this chat knows that hit. But I'm not going to say his name out of respect. but yeah, that gentleman spent a lot of time in that studio, and they did a lot of partying in that studio, and eventually I think he just didn't like the person that he was and the habits that he had, and he broke those habits and grew as a person, and that was it. And decided just to never step in that studio again. But he loved the idea of that studio being used. And he loved the idea of that house being used for creativity and for partying. But you had to be responsible. You had to be the kind of person that if you're going to use his house, and and he would just let you live there. He was just super cool. Like he had me watch that house on several occasions. And he's a good man. But and he would be like, yeah, have a party, sure, just make sure you clean up afterwards, make sure nobody fucking steals from me, make sure you you enjoy yourself, but just be respectful to my property. And he was very, very cool about that. This is the kind of man that his front door was always wide open. The only reason it had a little gate on the front door was to keep the dog in, but it was wide open. All of his doors and windows were always wide open. So anybody was welcome to come into his home. And that set that right there made a very, very bold statement, which gave the house itself a very, very cool vibe. So I absolutely very much admire this man for a lot of reasons. So anyways, guys, I'm going to call it. And being there, I'm very, very grateful that you're a subscriber, and you participate in this chat. And I think all of us can learn from your strength and your example. So I want to thank you for being part of this chat, and yeah, absolutely, Rosalind. Yeah, he was the godfather of the hood, most definitely. Most definitely. Still is. Still is. Still is. But all right, guys. I love you guys very, very much. Thank you so much. And if I don't get on tonight, hey, click click boom. I'm sorry. I'm just it's calling it a night. But if I don't get back on late tonight, then I'll be back on. And I don't think I'm gonna get back on late tonight, but I'll definitely be on tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm off. I'll probably do depending on how I'm feeling after tonight. Tomorrow I'll get on, and it'll be awesome. Well, I don't know if it'll be awesome, but I'm gonna definitely enjoy myself, because I always do with you guys. So thanks a lot, guys, and we will talk very, very soon. You guys are the best.